Hey everybody, sorry that I have to meet you guys virtually rather than in person. As you know, classes have been canceled here on campus for the last week. And so our first OR session, which should have happened today at 10 o'clock, didn't happen. Also, unfortunately, or actually quite fortunately, I and a couple of your classmates are going to be going to Iowa for the Iowa caucuses as part of a as part of a Jan term class that we're going to be completing, which means we're not going to be there next Monday either. So what I wanted to do is take a couple of seconds. I wanted to go over the syllabus, talk a little bit about what the course is going to be like, talk about your first couple of assignments, and then talk a little bit about what your mentor, Joseph Lowe, is going to be doing with you guys next week. So the way that I'm doing that is I'm just setting up a course, a quick discussion via Google Hangouts on air. This broadcast is streaming live via YouTube. You've already gotten the link, otherwise you wouldn't be watching the video. I guess there are a couple of things that I want to try to do first of all. First thing I want you to do is, as you know from the email that I sent out, each one of you have an assignment that you have to do, or a couple of assignments that you have to do the next week. And these assignments are going to be how I take attendance for this week and then for next week. To find the assignments and to find places that you need to post the assignments, just go to the TigerNet page. You can also find on the TigerNet page the course syllabus. So if you just scroll down a little bit, I've posted the course syllabus here under handouts where it says syllabus. You can just click on that and open it up and see everything that you need to see for the course. What you can also find here in the first year seminar webpage is if you go over to collaboration, you'll see the location for the forums and where we're going to be posting all of our forum assignments we're going to talk about in a second. You can also click on coursework, and you'll find in coursework that I've already created the first assignment that you'll be loading up on coursework along with the due dates, and that's going to be the Journal 1 assignment. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Well, if you go over, pardon me, this will take just a second. If you go over to the course syllabus, oh, that's weird, you will be able to find on the syllabus a breakdown of everything that we're going to be doing over the semester and all the assignments that we have available. There it is. The information you can find on the syllabus, first of all, my name, my contact information, my office phone number. Usually the best way to reach me is actually via email. Later on in the semester, I'll probably be giving you guys my cell phone so that way you can check out and send me information via text. You'll also find my office hours, 2 to 3 Monday through Thursday, and 3 to 4 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm usually around in the afternoons, but I also have a lot of meetings. For those of you who don't know me, I'm pretty active on campus with a bunch of other things. I also go off campus a lot for field trips and academic conferences. But usually in the afternoons, I'll be there. Hopefully this semester I'll be there a little bit more as well. You'll also find the textbook for the course, The Art of Leading Others, Habitudes, by Tim Elmore. We're going to be using the textbook for probably about 4 or 5 weeks, depending on some of the decisions that you guys make in the class. So you'll need it. Fortunately, the book is relatively short, and I think each week you only have maybe 20 or 30 minutes of reading that you have to do. Grading scale for the course, this is the important part. This class is a pass-fail course. Either you complete the course successfully or you have to repeat the course next semester. There are a range of assignments for the class. Some of these assignments are kind of duplicated. So we have these things called forum posts 10 times over the course of the semester. So about once every week, including for this week, you have to go on to the forum page on TigerNet. You respond to whatever the prompt is, and then maybe a paragraph or two, you can read your fellow classmates' responses. For this week, whenever you go to TigerNet, what you'll notice is that I want you guys to prepare for, for this week, I want you guys to prepare for our meeting in a couple of weeks by thinking a little bit about what community service project you'll want to do. The OR class, especially the second semester, is built around teaching students how to be better servant leaders. Now, that means that we have to do a community service project, or we get to do a community service project. And as part of the process, we'll be able to learn and develop some skills that are helpful in leadership or when performing a leadership function. And we do that by demonstrating how well we can do this community service project. I've already posted one suggestion. I think it'd be a really great idea if we worked with one of the refugee organizations in Louisville or Lexington, since refugee and refugee status is kind of a hot topic and is certainly within the realm of the Christian mission of an institution like Campbellsville University. But I'm open to suggestions, and ultimately it's going to be up to the class to decide what they want to do. So go to the forum this week before class next week and give me some ideas, and let's talk a little bit about on the forum page what y'all might want to do. In addition to the forum, so you have to do 10 of those worth 10 points each, we also have to do these things called journal assignments. And the journal assignment, the first one is due February 1st after class is over. For your first journal assignment, what I'm going to ask you to do is to think a little bit about your major, why you picked it, what your interests are, and what you plan on doing with it once you graduate. You also get up to 100 points for a class discussion. You also get 120 points for attendance. Obviously, you have to show up to get any of the discussion points. So about a little less than half of all the points available for the class are really, you just have to show up and participate. And then finally, 100 points for participation in the class project. If you don't participate in the project, then you don't get those points. So that's about 320 points for showing up for class, participating in class discussion, and participating in the class project. You need 350 points to pass the class. If you don't show up, you're obviously going to fail. And then you also have the points for the forum posts and the journal reflections. Now, it's a little bit about how you get points in the class. Also, a little bit more information in the syllabus about what participation means, exactly what you have to do for the journaling and the forum posts, and a little bit about what happens over the course of the semester. Now, I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about what we're going to be doing as the class moves on. Now, as you can see, we're going to miss our first class period, which is when we're doing this introduction, and when we should be doing the discussion for our brainstorming for the service projects we might be interested in doing. Instead of doing that in class, we're going to try to get that jump started by having everyone go to the forums. Next week, you're still going to have class, even though I'm not going to be there, and a couple of your classmates are going to be missing. For next week, you're going to do a Meet the Mentor assignment. Joseph Lowe, who is one of our graduating seniors, he's a double major in political science and Spanish, has agreed to lead this class. And he's hopefully going to get a couple of other students who will join him. During next week's class, I want you to get together with the mentor, get together with some of the other upper level students in the major, and spend some time with them and talk a little bit about the major, the expectations from the major, the kinds of things that you should be doing either as a history or a social studies education or a poli-sci major to help prepare you this semester for when you get into the harder upper level courses. Now, when I get back, we're going to be talking about the first chapter in the textbook for a little bit. We're also going to be talking more about the class projects, and hopefully we'll have nailed down what our final topic is for the project. Now, there are a couple of other things on the schedule that I want you to pay attention to, and I want you to understand that the schedule is still a little bit tentative, and here's kind of what I'm talking about. You'll see that for the first 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be doing a couple of projects every week. Notice that the Journal 1 assignment due date is wrong. The syllabus was written before we decided not to have class this week. But we're going to have a couple of other assignments. We're going to be reading from the chapter for the first 3 or 4 weeks, and we're going to be planning the project up until spring break. Now, the reason why the schedule isn't quite set in stone is there are a couple of things that that Joseph and I are talking about doing that would throw the schedule a little bit off. The first thing is we would like to, over the course of the semester at some point, but we can't do it on the Monday, but we would at some point like to take the class to Frankfurt. As you probably know, Senator Max Wise is a professor here at Campbellsville University. He's also a CU alum, and he is a sitting senator in the Kentucky legislature, which is in session this semester. So what we want to do is to take a chance to take the entire class and maybe a few other students who might be interested, take them down to Frankfurt for the day, get a chance to meet Senator Wise in Frankfurt, go to a couple of the committee meetings that may be on interests or topics of interest to our students, and then, you know, maybe hang out in Frankfurt for a little bit for the rest of the day. I certainly think that one of my classes hopefully will be attending, and we'll be having class, our Tuesday, Thursday constitutional development class, and we'll be having class while we're there. So we're going to try to pick one day to do that. Second thing that we want to do, especially if we pick the topic that I've suggested, working with refugees, is we would like to take the chance to merge the constitutional development course with the OR class for the day and have a discussion on the powers and the roles of the states with accepting refugees and the constitutional implications of that. So if we do those two things, that'll cause us to change the schedule a little bit. It means that we'll have fewer chapter discussions and less reading from the textbook, and hopefully a little bit more interaction over the course of the semester. We also have, you'll notice, April 11th as the suggested week for project implementation, when we actually go and complete the project. Again, that may have to move around a little bit depending on what's happening with our eventual project partners and what we're doing here in class. And then we finish up preparing for the Servant Leadership Project Celebration, which is supposed to happen in Ransdale Chapel at the end of the semester. So that's a little bit about the course outline and the course schedule. I've gone over the first course assignment. I've gone over the first journal assignment, so you have a head start there, and you basically know what you're going to be doing next week. One more thing, it's really kind of important. In the email, it told you that you had to email me back a password. The password for you is simply your first name spelled backwards. So email me back, let me know that you watched the video, and to prove that you did, just email me your password spelled backwards, and I'll know that you finished it. If you have any questions at any time in the course, drop by my office. I'm available. Shoot me an email, probably the best way, or give me a call, and I'll get back to you whenever I can. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, and have a good class next week with Joseph.